NamRA Kachenu, NamRA Njietu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA Njietu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA Njietu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA Njietu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to this edition of NamRA Kachenu, your trusted source for all things related to tax, customs and excise matters. My name is Elise Dentlinger and I am delighted to be in your company for the next half an hour or so. In recent developments, NamRA K9 units takes off. Commissioner takes the NamRA case study to public service. On-your-fee and customer feedback systems operational. All this and more coming soon. Stay tuned. Leading our show today is NamRA's drive to enhance compliance at entry points with the official launch of its K9 unit. Let's have a look at how it went down.
My name is Stephen Lochner from the TSU Protection Services. We had the honor of training the handlers, training the dogs, getting the dogs ready for deployment. And without further ado, we would like to just demonstrate some basic detection work that some of the dogs will perform.
Yes, yes.
You will also notice that Minas is keeping a leash a lot shorter, depending on the type of services he does. So there's different techniques, and this is in the 6 months that they were there with us at the training academy. This is something that we drilled into them. Is they serve different search methods to a vehicle, there's different search methods to pipes or buildings or outdoor areas as well.
Yes.
These dogs have completed intensive internal training and have been assessed as operationally fit by the technical support unit.
We gathered here today to launch the K9 unit or the dog unit of the Namibia Revenue Agency. And we must protect Namibian borders from the importation and exportation of illicit goods. We will go to the roadblock. Sometime we will take them to Walvis Bay and so on. But people must just know that the days of doing what you want in Namibia are almost over. And we are going to hold hand with other stakeholders and make sure that we protect the future of our country, we protect our children, we protect family, and drugs must not have any place in this country.
I'm very excited. What excited me is that today I'm here to receive the newly born babies. 10 with 2 legs, plus 4 with 4 legs. Congratulations, NamRA.
Commissioner Sam SHIVUTE shared a case study of the NamRA culture at the Namibian Institute for Public Administration and Management, capturing the agency's journey and the key elements of its evolving culture.
This is a cabinet directive, and we are therefore gathered here not only to discuss change, but to shape it, to ensure that our public and private institutions evolve in ways that strengthen trust, deepen service excellence, and most importantly, improves the lives of our people.
Good morning. Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. We must understand the rationale behind having a performance-driven and citizen-centric service culture. We are in these positions to serve the citizens of the Republic of Namibia and anyone else who finds himself or herself within the boundaries of our territory, and to serve them to the best of our ability.
The culture is not something that you put in a document. It's not something that you write in a policy. It's how you show up. It's how you show up. It's how you behave. It's how you carry yourself. Culture change is very possible. Let's be unlimited. Let's serve Namibia with passion. When people say this is not possible, that's why I was excited when Edie was talking and I'm looking at her laughing. It's because she's speaking my language. Because everything is possible. Everything starts in the mind. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Doctor, we as Namibians, we are unlimited beings, limited only by the concept of limitation that we place in our mind. I thank you very much.
Story 3, take 1, 3, 2.
The Namibia Revenue Agency launched on Yofi the new customer service management system together with an enhanced customer feedback system acquired with the support of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP and GIZ. Let's take a look.
Your presence is a powerful testament of your shared belief in progress, innovation, and the future where public service is synonymous with excellence.
It's about positioning NamRA to be responsive for the people that it serves. And those are people like Maria, who is a trader, and she's just looking to be successful in her business, but she does not understand certain things, or she wants to get assistance from NamRA. And we want to ensure that every time Maria reaches out to us, we are responsive by first knowing that she has reached out to us, by knowing what she reached out to us for, and by knowing that our officials have successfully assisted her to resolve any request that she came to us for.
This initiative is a stellar example of the Sustainable Development Goal number 16 in action, building effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions. It demonstrates that digital public infrastructure, when done right, can reduce inequalities and actively dismantle them.
UNDP, NamRA, and GIZ decided to collaborate on a larger strategic objective of NamRA, which is improving data management and analytical capability of the institution. This partnership came about rather haphazardly, but I'm very happy with how we structured it then and how we aligned the activities of each institution and the strengths of each institution to realize the launch of the two systems that we are launching here today. But I also want to let you know that the launch of these two systems is not the end. We are continuing to work together for the larger topic of improving data management, text data management. And it is a fundamental aspect of any system that there are feedback loops incorporated into it.
In launching the Onyofi customer service system today, NamRA management under the capable leadership of our Commissioner Sam SHIVUTE is committed to an operational platform that is as inclusive and equitable as our organizational values.
Like they say, when women succeed, everything succeeds. When women succeed, Namibia will succeed. We are sons and daughters of women. And therefore, there must be no debate when we talk about women and we're talking about women empowerment. By the way, one of the best appointment I've ever received in my life, it was last year in Kigali, when I was appointed as African Tax Administration Forum's Gender Equality. And we are very happy to say that out of 44 members of African Tax Administration Forum, 23 member states have committed to ensure gender equality in their administration. And this year, I think it was on the 7th of November, even convincing up to Algeria to join. So we're very, very happy. So that's...
After the break, we will be joined by NamRA Commissioner Sam SHIVUTE. Stay tuned. Good day, Commissioner, and a warm welcome to NamRA Kachenu.
Good afternoon, Elise. Thank you for having me at NamRA Kachenu. Very happy to be here.
Yeah. I would like to take the opportunity to first congratulate you on your big achievement by being reappointed as our commissioner for another 5 years. Congratulations on that. It's indeed very good and exciting news.
No, thank you very much. I always say glory to the Almighty, and we do thank the President, the Minister of Finance, the board, but most importantly, we have to thank the men and women in navy blue, white, and a touch of orange who did the work. So collectively, we did this together, but glory to the Almighty. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Commissioner, as we're about to start, can you reflect on the year 2025? What have stand out for you in 2025 as the biggest achievements that NamRA has achieved?
Yeah, 2025, it has been a very great year for Namibia Revenue Agency, because it's in this year that we continue to building on the gains that we have been building over the past 4 years. And from a revenue collection perspective, that performance still continue to be very, very strong, despite the fact that we are seeing some decline from the diamond sector. But again, we continue to be very positive and knowing very much that it's only by end of March that we'll be able to talk about the final overall revenue collection. But not only that, I think this is also the year that our brand, we have really grown the brand of Namibia Revenue Agency, where it's not only the brand that is well known now in Namibia, we have taken the brand beyond Namibia. Just to give you an example, in July, for example, there was a very massive meeting in a conference in Spain called the 4th International Conference on Finance for Development. And there were about 10,000 participants at that conference, but the only tax administration that was invited to share a case study, that was Namibia Revenue Agency. And again, there we met some developmental partners who would want to work with us, and some of them, they have already started engaging, like Team Europe initiative, and for that, we are very, very grateful. Then, of course, maybe starting from a people's perspective, this is also the year where we have really strengthened our relationship with developmental partners. I mean, we are very, very proud to be one of the few, if not the first and the only institutional state-owned enterprise that have a working relationship with Ivy University in the US, Stanford University. They have a memorandum of understanding with us. So is Columbia University, and they send their best student to come and spend some time with us as summer associates. Some spend about 3 months. First, when we started with Stanford University, they started first sending about 2 students, and now they will continue sending. And Columbia University, they first sent 10, and even now we are already engaging again so that they can send another 10 students to come and work with us, work on real tax administration challenges so that we can help our country. But just whilst we are there as well, I always want to, whenever I'm reflecting, I'll speak about our vision. Our vision continue to be, we aspire to be a world-class revenue agency serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian. We continue appreciating and seeing our colleagues really putting in a lot of efforts the NamRA stars, they are working very hard, and I need to express my appreciation to them. A day before yesterday, we were at the Hosea Kutako International Airport, where we launched the K9. The K9 is a dog unit where we had a group of about 10 dog handlers that were specially trained together with about 4 dogs. And as a result of that, we have now launched that unit because we want to really work very hard and strengthen our capability to fight drugs. Because we just reported about a day before yesterday that by the beginning of November, we have already determined that about 29 cases of drug interception were carried out at our 3 border posts. That's Trans-Kalahari, Mamuno border post, but most of the cases are coming from Alliance Ray and all the world. And the estimated value of all those illicit drugs, we're talking about 52 million Namibian dollar. Thanks to the scanner, so the scanners that we having at the border post, they are also doing their part. But a system or a scanner cannot do the work by itself. Again, thanks to the men and women from Namibia Revenue Agency who continue to be alert and really do a good job and make sure that we fulfill our mandate, that one of protecting the Namibian borders from illegal importation and exportation of illicit goods. So we're very happy with that. But again, just looking back to the year as well, there have been a lot of wins. There have been a lot of wins, and one of it, and that I really want to highlight, is the 8th administration have committed to improve service delivery in public services and also to change the mindset and the culture of public servants. And as a result of that, NIPAM, who is responsible for improving service delivery and transforming public services, was then requested to run seminars aimed at addressing culture change within public service. And the Office of the Prime Minister have also directed NIPAM, and we are very, very humbled at Namibia Revenue Agency that we were chosen to be the first institution in Namibia to share our case study, what is called Culture Change NamRA case study that was delivered on the 24th of November 2025, and for that we are very, very grateful. Just in a nutshell, before we move on to the other questions, really just to indicate that the year has been a good year. It's been a very busy year, working with a number of different developmental partners. We trying to improve our capability in the area of transfer pricing audit, and we are ready to continue serving Namibia with passion. But all this is not done by one person. It's a collective NamRA stars who are making this thing happen. But we also know that we cannot do and achieve what we are achieving without the political support and from the Office of the President, from members of Parliament, from our very supportive Minister of Finance, and of course from one of the best and supportive boards. The board of Namibia Revenue Agency is one of the best. And because we are operating in that environment where we are properly supported, that's why I can only say that it was a good year. But again, remember that our year end by the 31st of March next year. So there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, that is quite interesting and a mouthful, and it's quite good to hear of all the achievements that NamRA has achieved. Congratulations on that as well. So, Tatisen, tell me, NamRA is focused also on the modernization and efficiency. So how is the agency leveraging technology data, automation to improve service delivery and also compliance?
Okay, yeah, no, thank you. One point that I have to make here as well is that during this year, 2025, the leadership of Namibia Revenue Agency, we also took time out to develop our new strategic plan for 2026 to 2031. And again, in this strategic plan, now we have 8 strategic objectives, but also we are seriously and very much committed to improve service delivery. Now, one of our strategic objective is that of improved service delivery. But apart from that, coming to your question with regard to digital transformation, we do have a digital transformation strategy. But again, it needs to be revised. But apart from that, we are very big on technology because we do believe that future is technology. In actual fact, it's not future. For us to be able to ensure effective compliance, for us to be able to improve service delivery, we need to invest in technology and we need to leverage technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, and so on. Now, what we have done, like during the course of this year, we are upgrading we have started with a project of upgrading the ASCUDA system. ASCUDA system is the customs administration system. The public may be interested to know that as part of our mandate to facilitate trade, any goods that have to enter Namibia, be imported into Namibia, or exported from Namibia, it have to be declared with NamRA's customs. And if there are duty to be paid or to be levied, it have to be facilitated. And as a result of that, we have this massive system that then have to keep all those records. So the system that we have now, when we are in a process of upgrading it, so that this system, we are able then to be able to operate like any other world-class revenue agency, because that is what we are aiming to. We are journeying towards becoming a world-class revenue agency. And the ASCUDA system is a big part of what we do from a customs administration perspective. And we are very thankful that the Ministry of Finance have made a budget available for us to be upgrading that system. That system is very big because with the upgrade of ASCUDA system, it will also enable NamRA to be able to launch or to even, it can propel Namibia to have what we call a national single window systems, because that is what we have been struggling for the time being as a country. But with this system that we are upgrading, we will be able to have the national single window whereby all the public services can be interconnected and public members or clients can reach that. So upgrading of ASCUDA system, that's big one. Then of course we are also very happy to report that this year we also developed the custom service management system that we call Onyofi. Onyofi means stars in Chiwambo. And with this custom management system, we are now able to track the complaints or the concern or our interaction with our trader and taxpayer and our clients, and be able to determine how that was resolved as well. Then we also have another system that is also working closely with Onyofi, which is a custom management system, custom service management system. Then we have another one called SADIF that track the feedback, whereby the clients or the taxpayer or the trader that interact with us, they will then be able also to give us feedback, determine and indicate whether their issues have been properly resolved, and also rate us. And the good thing about this system is that in the past, yes, we were committed, and with the launch of Namibia Revenue Agency 4 years ago, we really want to improve service delivery. But if you are not able to have the records about how many people interacted with you, how many people have expressed their issue of concern, you cannot manage effectively that which you do not know. And I'm hearing and I'm getting feedback that the colleagues, especially within NamRA, they are starting using the system, they are recording, and that will give us a very clear picture about the concern of the trader, the concern of the taxpayer, and if we can then be focused in addressing those challenges. And for that, we are very, very grateful that, yes, so, but again, going forward, we're looking at a special within our new strategy, because we really want to enhance digital transformation. In actual fact, we even want to, we have to, we will have a policy that guides our usage of artificial intelligence. But not only that, we are also going to have a function to come next year. We want to establish a function so that we take digital transformation out of ICT. So because this digital transformation has nothing to do with ICT, it's really the way we operate. We want to be super digital savvy, and we want all our system to be interconnected internally and also externally. It's our wish, and we are already working towards finalizing all those memorandum of understanding so that our ITAS system, for example, or our system, SCODA and ITAS, it must be interconnected with the likes of system and BIPA, the Bank of Namibia, Ministry of Finance, NATIS, and so on. And that's why we need to have a dedicated service dedicated service on digital transformation. So the future will really look very bright, not only for NamRA, but also for our clients.
Yeah, it indeed does. And I believe our clients is going to be very satisfied because it's just better when you can do something from the comfort of your own home.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, Commissioner, a strong organizational culture normally do drive success. How is NamRA fostering a positive, inclusive, and high-performance culture to empower staff and strengthen the institution from within?
Yeah, thank you, thank you, Elise. I mean, culture is everything. Just like they say, culture is strategy. So at NamRA, we are very big on culture. When you look at how we show up, when we talk about men and women in navy blue, white, and a touch of orange, how we show up, that's part of our culture. You would also note that we have this rule whereby in our meeting, we want to be there on time. And if you get to the meeting late, there should be a punishment that you must enjoy. And it's something that's a wonderful and a very positive culture. But apart from that as well, there are a number of initiatives that we are doing to build a culture that we want. Like, for example, you have noted that at NamRA, we really want to be an institution that is higher on performance and really driving higher performance culture, but also having fun, meaning that if we have to work, we have to work. But also we need to make time to take care of our mental health. We need to make time to participate in physical activity so that we don't just take care of our mental health, we also take care of our physical health and also our social relationship and interaction with the other. It's for that reason that in NamRA, we want to encourage a cohesive workforce, and that's why we try as many times as possible. We really try to ensure that our workforce is engaged. We want to ensure that our workforce is engaged. We want to make sure that our workforce is motivated. That's why we have been piloting this initiative whereby we work until 1 o'clock on Fridays, so that we can go to a sport ground and participate in different physical activity, including sport. The purpose is not just to knock off early and go and participate in some sport activity, but it's for us to get to know one another. It's for us to be happy. It's for us to know that happiness comes from within. It's for us to really engage in different sport activity that we appreciate, because at the end of the day, we want to build a happy team, because I believe that a happy team is a productive team. We want a team that knows one another. Just imagine if you are playing in a netball field or in a soccer field, and the players do not know one another's strengths and weaknesses. They would not even be able to coordinate and really successfully win those games. But we do believe that if we build a cohesive workforce, and that's why when we play hard. I mean, that's why one of you earlier on spoke about me to ask that I must reflect on one of our highlights. I think one of our highlights would also be the fact that this year, for 3 consecutive years in Namibia, in the Public Enterprise CEO Forum, Annual Games Forum, we were selected or voted for the 3rd consecutive year as one of the most cheerful, energetic, and entertaining institutions. And I don't need to explain this. One just need to get to our website, to go to our social media platform and look at our video. When we show up, not only are we dressed in a way that everyone will not miss us, but we are there we are present. We come with energy, very positive energy. And that energy, we just don't keep it within the NamRA family. We try to share this energy with other participants. And that is really one of the highlights as well of the year. And I was told that for this year, we are even going to keep that cup. And I'm also very happy to note that I'm seeing now other institutions in Namibia and outside Namibia who also want to learn from us, who want to copy from us, who want to have a uniform, who want to, they're asking, how do you have this energy and so on. I must also emphasize that, like in any household, of course, my wish is to have 100% everyone happy, everyone engaged, everyone motivated. But it's not always possible. You will always find some pocket of resistance or some pocket of those who may not be disgruntled, because human being, that's the nature of human being. But the good news is that we really want to build this positive culture, a culture that is informed and guided by our leadership model, a culture of holding each other accountable, a culture of having what we call zero tolerance to corruption, a culture of integrity, a culture of being sporty and also working hard and playing hard, a culture of being committed to improve service delivery. We have next week, Monday and Tuesday, we are meeting with a group called Order With Me, our brothers and sisters who are in the business of importing goods from other jurisdictions. We want to engage with them. We want to hear their concern. We want to address their concern. They may also be pleased to note that next year we are even going to have an e-commerce clearing center, and that is specially created for them so that we can give them great service and improve where we are. We will engage with clearing agents so that we understand their challenges as well, and so that we can work together. We want to work together with all our stakeholders, all the taxpayer and traders, to bring about improvement in the tax administration, custom administration, and people must be excited. We want people to get to the level whereby they must get angry when they are not able to pay their tax or customs duty, because they know that it's the right thing to do, because by paying their fair share of taxes or customs duty to the state, they are contributing to helping us capacitate the state to deliver on its developmental agenda.
It's very good. That is in NamRA's mandate directly influences national development. So in what ways is the agency aligning its efforts with broader national priorities, such as economic recovery, growth, and also social equity?
Wonderful. With regard to economic recovery, which is also one of the big ticket items for the president, she would want to revive the economy. And we must commend and congratulate the president for also appointing a competent task force on economic recovery. But again, a tax administration plays a very key role in the development of any country. You can't talk about economic recovery without talking about tax administration. What happens is that if you go to major meetings, be it at the Severe Commitment in Spain, the fourth international conference that I spoke about on finance for development, if you look at the statement of the G20, if you go to the UN, at a global stage, be it at a Bretton institution, the IMF and World Bank annual meeting, the big call for all developing countries is that we need to strengthen domestic resources. We have to strengthen domestic resources. For developing country to be able to revive their economy or to take their country from where they are to where we need to go, we have to strengthen domestic resource mobilization. And the core of mandate of Namibia Revenue Agency is contribution or strengthening domestic resource mobilization. Many people talk about, oh, you tax collector, the taxman, and so on. Ours is not about tax collection. It's really about domestic resource mobilization. That is the space in which we play. When you look at us as activists in domestic resource mobilization. Because if we are not able to mobilize the resources of our country, we will not be able to grow this economy sustainably. And it have also been confirmed, and I can say this without any fear of contradiction, that the only sustainable way for developing country to develop their country and move forward is by strengthening domestic resource mobilization. How do we do that? We need to make sure that every taxpayer pay their fair share of taxes. And again, that speaks to your question of social or equity. Fair share of taxes, paying in accordance with the profit that you have made. And you only pay tax when you have made profit, after you have deducted your expenses. So we need to make sure that everyone pay their fair share of taxes. That's number one. Then you have the issue of IFF. Developing countries, including Namibia, are losing a lot of money as a result of illicit financial flows. The number or the amount of money that we are losing in this country is a lot, and we have identified the sector from which we are losing through illicit financial flows. And I'm very happy to report that in Namibia, we are working, there are law enforcement, different agencies of the state that are working together to make sure that we close the loopholes and curb illicit financial flow. We have even put together a team within Namibia Revenue Agency to make sure that we curb illicit financial flows. But I'm also very happy that even Team Europe initiative that I spoke about earlier on, I met them in Spain, Sevilla, at the beginning of July. And Namibia was one of the countries that they have selected, and they're able and prepared to fund us and work with us and capacitate our teams so that we can effectively fight the scourge of illicit financial flow. So we are also strengthening our capability in the area of transfer pricing. And thanks to the likes of ATAF, IMF, and of course UNDP, who have also sponsored us with Tax Inspector Without Borders and African Development Bank as well. All this reflection and some of the milestones that we achieved this year. African Development Board the Development Bank of Namibia have come on board to sponsor us to do some specialized training in some sector like your insurance and so on. We are strengthening our capability in tax transfer pricing. We are developing our capacity on data analytics because data is the new oil. And as we develop all this capability and we really start making sure that domestic resource mobilization is enforced, we make sure that the men and women in navy blue, white, and a touch of orange do and carry out their mandate with passion. By doing that, then, again, all that which we are mobilizing, it goes to, it will go to the state account. And when it goes to the state account, remember that the state and the president, the Namibian government, NDP6, there are many commitments and many programs that have to be carried out. Majority of those programs, they have to be funded, and they have to be funded with revenue coming from the state account. You may be interested to know that in Namibia, about 90% of your national budget is funded from the revenue that is collected by Namibia Revenue Agency. It does not happen in many developing countries. 90% of our budget is funded from the revenue that is collected by Namibia Revenue Agency. And we are very, very grateful for that. But also, you may also have heard as well that this is also the year where our President, Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, she is commended internationally for having successfully redeemed the Eurobond, where Namibia made history by becoming one of the few developing countries to redeem a bond. That means to pay off the bond of $750 million in one day. Many other countries, I have read up about many other countries that extended their repayment, or they entered into new repayment plan. And Namibia could have done that as well, but Namibia paid it off. Yes, I do. Now, if you want to understand the concept of domestic resource mobilization, now you must ask yourself, where did this money come from? It was through domestic resource mobilization. Part of that, more than 300 million came from commercial banks, and the others came from the revenue collected by Namibia Revenue Agency. So we need to commend the Ministry of Finance, we need to commend the Bank of Namibia for managing the sinking fund, but also I would also want the men and women, navy blue, white, and a touch of orange, to tap themselves on their shoulder to know that it's their responsibility to collect the revenue that can help our government and our state and capacitate the state to deliver on its developmental agenda.
Very, very interesting. I am so sad that this conversation has to come to an end because it's such an interesting conversation that we are having. And I am so glad to be part of this team NamRA because we are truly serving with passion and your leadership. Congratulations, that is Sam on that. So as we are about to say goodbye, before we do that, is there anything else that you would like to add, and also maybe something that you would like to tell to the public?
Okay, thank you very much, Elise. First, of course, glory to the Almighty. At Namibia Revenue Agency, we put God at the center of all that we do because we believe that we are serving a divine assignment. So we thank the Almighty for the guidance, for the protection. But for the member of the public, I really want again to express our heartfelt appreciation. Without them, we would not have achieved that which we have achieved during the course of the year. But again, as we move towards the end of the year, this is a time to pause a little bit, as in line with the culture of Namibia. This is a time to reflect. This is a time to reflect and express our gratitude and appreciation on what we have accomplished and also on that which we have not accomplished, and reset ourselves with a renewed mindset, a committed and dedicated mindset that come 2026, we need to face the new year with vigor, with dedication, with commitment to be of service to Namibia. So I would want to wish those who will be traveling, really just to caution that they must drive very safely and also take care of themselves and also take care of their resources. Sometimes we see during December, people try to spend all their resources if it's the end of the world, only forgetting that January we still have commitment, we still have school's obligation. So I want them to encourage them, really take care of your resources, but also drive safely. And I want to wish them a Merry Christmas and a blessed 2026. And the same applies to the NamRA stars. The NamRA stars, I can only thank them. Every compliment I have received, even the confirmation or the extension of my contract, is as a result, of course, the Almighty, our board, the minister, the president, cabinet members, and all those who supported. But without the commitment and the dedication of the NamRA stars, that would not have been possible. And for that, I shall forever remain grateful. We need to hold hands as Namibian, and let's serve this beautiful country with passion. The future of this country looks very, very bright. Let's continue serving with passion. I thank you.
Well, and that was Commissioner Sam SHIVUTE of NamRA, and must I say, what a conversation. We are so glad that you have tuned in and watched NamRA Kachenu for the whole of the year, and we hope that you will continue watching as we share more and more.
Good day. We are going to discuss about the determination and the calculations of duties and taxes. But before that, we need to explain that everything on this planet is having its own commodity code, and that it comes with two factors before the determination of these duties and taxes. And factor number one is the type of goods, and the second one is the origin of these goods, meaning where these particular goods are arriving from. For today, we are going to make it more practical. We are picking one of the commodity to fill in as to how these duties and taxes are coming about. Pick clothing today, and we are going to be choosing the trouser as our commodity for today. And I'll be practical, explaining as to the trouser arriving from China. And we are going to assume this trouser is 500 in Namibian dollars. Apart from the import tax, that the trouser have to be paid on. The VAT stands at 16.5% import tax. Now, what determines what other duties needs to be imposed? It's really where is it arriving from. In this case, the trousers commodity code is 61034910, and in relation with where is it arriving from, in this case it's coming from China, and China, it attracts 45% customs duty. So in this case, the customs duty, it will be 45%. Now, what is the 16.5% of the 500? It will be $82.50. That will be the import tax for the trouser arriving from China. On top of that, the customs duty, which is 45%, it will be $225.00. So that will be the customs duty for the trouser arriving from China. That is 500 in Namibian dollars. However, if we have to take the same commodity, which is a trouser, assuming it's still 500 in Namibian dollars, and let's assume it's also 500 in Namibian dollars, the VAT, which is the import tax, it stands at 16.5%, which remains at $82.50. However, in this case now, customs duty, it will be at a rate of 27%, just because the European Union, we have a trade agreement with the European Union, with SACU, and Namibia is part of SACU, which is the Southern African Customs Union. So in this case, there will be a reduction of this customs duty, and in this case it will be 135.00. So this is the 27% of 500 in Namibian dollars. Let's assume the same trouser is now coming from one of the SACU country being the Southern African Customs Union, and it includes Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, and South Africa. So if you are importing this same trouser from one of those countries, then it will mean that the import tax, which is the VAT, it will still stand at $82.50. So what is the difference that comes with this particular commodity regards to the rate of duty? So it will mean now the total of the same trouser arriving from China, it will be 307.50, and for the same trouser arriving from EU, it will be 217.50, and the same trouser with the same value of 500 in Namibian dollars arriving from SACU country, it will be $82.50. So this was just a practical example for the trouser. However, we'll be continuing explaining other different commodities because they will have different influence of what type of goods are they and where they are arriving from. Thank you very much.
Good day, my name is Elizabeth Amoshila. Today we are going to engage with you on the determination and calculation of duties and taxes for a motor vehicle. There are two factors to consider when you are importing a motor vehicle. One, the commodity code, and two, the country of export, or where the vehicle is coming from. In this case, the commodity code for the Polo is 87032290. And let's assume this vehicle is coming from Japan, and it's a Polo TSI 1.4 liter. And let's also assume that the value is 20,000. So the VAT payable on this car is 16.5% of 20,000, which is 3,300 Namibian dollar. And the ICD, which is custom duties of 25% of 20,000, which is 5,000 Namibian dollar. The environmental levy, and this environmental levy, we have a separate formula on how to calculate it. It's not based on the percentage. What we do, you take the engine capacity, which is 1.4, in this case is now 1,400, you multiply it with 0.05, then you get 70. With this 70, you then multiply with the rate. The rate for the petrol is $40 and for the diesel is 45. And let's assume now this Polo is a petrol. We multiply 70 with $40, then you get the 2,800, and that's the environmental levy for this Polo. Number 4 is ad valorem. This ad valorem, it's this duties is systematically calculated in our SHIVUTE system, and then we calculate it based on the value of the vehicle and the threshold, which is from 0 to 0.07. So the total duty payable for a car coming from Japan, it's 11,100 Namibian dollars. Now let's assume the same vehicle with the same value, it's coming from, or it's arriving from one of the EU, which is European Union or United Kingdom. The duty payable on this vehicle is VAT of 16.5% of the same value, which is 3,300. The ICD, since we have an agreement with these countries, the duties is now 18%, which is now 3,600 Namibian dollar. The environmental levy is still the same, is 2,800. Plus that ad valorem. In total, it will be 9,700 plus now the ad valorem, which is normally less amount of 100 something or 2. And then the same vehicle coming from Botswana. Botswana is one of the SACU countries with Namibia, South Africa, Lesotho, and Eswatini. So, if you are importing from Botswana, in this, let's assume the value is still the same. The duties payables are VATs of 16.5% of 20,000, which is 3,300, environmental levy of 2,800, and the ad valorem of that one that we calculate now on the system. So the total will be now 6,100 Namibian dollar. So these are the 3 different types of duties when you are importing a car coming from 3 different countries. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Susan Beekes. I'm the Regional Manager for NamRA in the Northern Region. And today I'll be teaching you or educating you on how to calculate duties on worn clothing. Alright, so today we will be talking about worn clothing, for which our HS code is 630900.17. Now then, across the board, there's just one rate of duty of all the trade regimes. It's a duty rate of 60% or 2,500 cents per kilogram. Now, and the VAT is 15%, however, it needs to be uplifted with 10%. Therefore, throughout the calculations, we'll be talking about 16.5%. Now, in this scenario, let's take the example of saying the value of the bale of worn clothing is $800, where the weight is 48 kilograms. Now, if we calculate 60% of 800 gives us $480. or 48 kilograms times 2,500 cents per kilo. To get it to dollars, we divide it by 100, and that gives us $1,200. Now our VAT is calculated on the value of 800 as well, giving us $132. Therefore, we take the highest, which is 1,200 plus the 132. Total amount payable would be $1,332 for this specific bail. Now, if we change the scenario and lowering the weight, say for example, the value remain 800, but the weight is now 10 kilograms per bail. Now, 800 times 60 is still $480. 10 kilograms times 2,500 cents divided by 100 gives us $250. VAT on $800 still remains $132. Therefore, in this scenario where the weight is less, we'll use the one that weighs more, which is $480, the 60%. So it's 480 plus 132, amounting to $612. That is the amount payable for a bail of 10 kilograms. Now within SACU, there's only VAT applicable. Therefore, we only calculate the 16% on the 800, amounting to $132, and that is the total amount payable within SACU. Alright, a quick conclusion on this one. When we talk of SACU, we talk of the 5 SACU member states. That is South Africa, Lesotho, Eswatini, Botswana, and Namibia. Those are our SACU members. So importing from any of those, only VAT is applicable because we have a common external tariff. The purpose of this explanation is to give you that education so that you can make an informed decision when trading or embarking on any possible entrepreneuring. So therefore, we encourage you to contact our office and to make sure that you have the right information. We're readily available and we're here to serve. Thank you.
Here are the trivia of duties.
Did you know that your banking details should be correct and accurate on our system? Outdated or incorrect banking details can delay your refund. Stay proactive and update your banking information to avoid any delays in your tax refund.
Do you need to make a payment for tax debt? Here are the available options.
Good day, viewers. I am Jean-Marie Pretorius, and today I'll be taking you through how to make tax payments. Paying your dues does not have to be difficult. The NamRA Revenue Agency has made domestic tax payments simpler, faster, and more accessible. First, you log into your ITAS portal to confirm what you owe. Then you choose the method of payment you would like to pay. We have 3 available options: EFT, direct deposit, and cash or card payments at any of the NamRA cash offices. After making your payment, send your payment to NamRA's accounts at Bank of Namibia. For all tax types besides VAT, you will be using Receiver of Revenue accounts at 165001. For VAT only, use VAT dedicated account 165060. The NamRA branch code is 980172. For all international payments, the SWIFT code is capitalized CBKNNAX. Do not forget to include your tax identification number and the tax period on the deposit slip. Prefer paying in person? Not an issue. NamRA cash offices accept Namibian dollars and South African rand, plus debit or credit card payments via point-of-sale machines. NamRA offices are open from Monday to Friday, 8 to 1. The Windhoek Regional Office is open until 3 o'clock. When paying as an EFT, use the structured reference format. That is 1/6/006588/14/201806. Let's simplify that a bit. The 1 is for the payment type. The 06 is for the registration office code. The 0658588 is your TIN. That is your tax identification number. The 14 is for the tax type. The 201806 is for the tax period. Having any trouble in making a payment? Do not hesitate to call the NamRA call center at 081-9594-000. Stay compliant and avoid penalties by paying on time with the right details. Paying your taxes does not have to be hard. With NamRA, it's fast, it's clear, and it's hassle-free.
The question for the previous episode was, what is a good standing certificate? And the answer, a good standing certificate is an official document that confirms a business or taxpayer is compliant with all legal and financial requirements in its judiciary. It proves that a company is legally authorized to conduct business and has fulfilled obligations like paying tax, fees, and filing all necessary documents. These certifications are often required for major business activities such as applying for loans, government contracts, or expanding operations. This week's question: what is the responsibilities of a K9 unit? The due date to submit is the 17th of December 2025.
And with that, we conclude this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We hope that the information shared has been insightful and valuable. Join us again in 2 weeks for more updates and discussions. Until then, stay informed, stay compliant, and from all of us here at NamRA Kachenu, goodbye.